We respectfully request the Sangha great virtues for the sake of this assembly and all living beings. Please turn the wonderful Dharma wheel to teach and guide us how to end birth and death, leave suffering and attain bliss, and quickly realize non-birth. Cung thính đại đức tặng thính, vì thứ pháp hội cấp nhật thiết chúng sanh, tịnh kiến diệu pháp luân giao đạo ngã mùng, như á liêu sanh thoát tư ly khổ đạc là tất chứng vô sanh. Homage to the Blessed, Noble, and Perfectly Enlightened One. Nam mô Sa Nan Tho Su Che Do Ye Ơ La Hơ Đi San Miao San Pu To Xie. Nam mô Tát Tát Tha Tô Ya Đa Ya A La Ha Đế Tam Miệu Tham Bồ Đà Toa. The unsurpassed, profound, subtle and wonderful Dharma in 100,000 million aeons is difficult to encounter. Now that I'm able to see and hear, and we receive and maintain it, I vow to fathom the scum one's true and actual doctrines. Wu shang sheng sheng wei miao fa bai qian wan jie nan zao yu wo jin jie wen de shou qu yuan jie ru lai cheng shi. O Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, Great Master Ching Liang, Great Master YongHua, all good monks and nuns and all good new advisors, Emitofuo. Chúc Phật Bồ Sát Ching Liang Ta Sư Sư Phụ Sang Rần Cơ Wei Chúc Cha Rần Cơ Wei Sang Chư Sư Emitofuo. Chư Phật Bồ Tát, kính thưa Thanh Lương Đại Sư, Thượng Hóa, Quý Thầy Cô và quý vị thiện tri thức A Di Đà Phật. Hello everyone, today is the, what day is today? The 12th of September 2025. Thank you all for joining our discussion of the prologue to the Avatamsaka Sutra. We're on slide 1523. Yes, Wei Maung.
Hello, Master. I was able to obtain the original question from Lily's dad. So he wrote a paragraph. He said that he briefly looked up.
Can we do it another time? This is a lecture time, so we can do it next week or something. You don't mind?
No problem. Sorry.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we are prologue, and this is excellent overview of the Avatamsaka teachings. Master YongHua made his own commentaries on Master Ching Liang's slides, his explanation. And so you have two great minds of who were very knowledgeable in the Avatamsaka Sutra. So it's wonderful. It's very profound. Personally, I find it interesting because it gives you some good jargon, some exposure, and is a confirmation to the way that the Buddha decided to teach to our realms, to our world. So when you study this prologue here, I'm reminding you to listen with as more of a background kind of information. Don't try to understand everything. Mahayana, we present to you bits and pieces. Eventually, as you cultivate and build up your samadhi, you'll be able to piece them together. And it's like a beautiful puzzle. It's gorgeous when you're able to start piecing them together. You begin to see the paranama, and you see how beautiful things put. Even when you begin to be able to piece them together, it's really fascinating. And for me personally, I'm learning a lot from this. For that, I'm very grateful to all of you for giving you this opportunity here to learn this. It's because I'm learning about why Master Hsuan or the Buddha or these Bodhisattvas teach certain things. It's fascinating to me. It's beautiful, not just how the teaching is, but why the Buddha taught certain things to certain people. All right, so to me, I assure you that it's time well spent to all of you, because eventually this is incredible insights to me. It's beautiful. One day you will get all this as well yourselves. So let's get into it. Xianshou School of classification of the Buddha Dharma, and Master Xianshou is a specialist in explaining the Avatamsaka Sutra. So he's classified the Buddha's teaching into 5 periods. First period, he says Hinayana, okay, no Theravada, no thing, no Tibetan, it doesn't matter. He says Hinayana, okay. Either you Mahayana or Hinayana. You don't call yourself Mahayana, then you're Hinayana. I love it. It's not for everyone, but I love the bluntness. And so he says Hinayana, because the Hinayana teaching is this nature of this teaching. And so it's not about names, it's about, if you look at the contents, okay, it's like when you go to a restaurant and you don't know, they blindfold you, and you eat, and you say, oh, this tastes like nước mắm. And you know it's really Chinese food. I mean Vietnam food, sorry. I'm just making fun of Vietnam people. Okay? So you see, it's the flavor that dictates the nature of the food, not the names. The names are secondary. Does it make sense to you? So that's why, to me, it's beautiful. Well, nowadays, the professors and all those academia complain is Hinayana, Theravada. Haven't you got the memo? Some smart aleck professor sent me that email something like 10 years ago. Haven't you received the memo? They don't call it Hinayana. They call it Theravada, very proudly. And Theravada, you know what Theravada means? It means elders' teachings. It's not even Buddha's teaching, it's elders' teaching. Hinayana at least is Buddha's teaching. Theravada is elders' teaching. We don't do elders' teachings. I only do Buddha's teaching. Anyway, I sound too arrogant. But I'm not Theravada. Okay, so what's interesting is the flavors. So that's why I'm learning more and more about why is Theravada, what the Buddha taught to the Theravadins. Then he taught about the initial teaching, which is like beginning Mahayana, which is Master Hsuan, by the way. It's fascinating because it's not the words, it's not just the contents, but it's the actual practice itself. Yeah, okay. Mahayana and Hinayana is the practice that helps you understand the teaching. So in the initial teaching, the beginning part of Mahayana, they teach up to a certain level, and we're nearing the end of it. Okay? And then next we go into Mahayana. Okay? And so it's not names, folks. It's about what you get out of it. Yeah? Okay. 1523. Since this discussion of the three natures and the five natures are not the same, it therefore says that one portion living beings definitely does not accomplish Buddhahood, which it terms a non-decreasing nature of the realm of beings.
其言三性五性不同，故说一分众生绝不成佛，名生界不减。
Okay, and again, I'd like to remind you that I have a bias. I don't know why I have a bias. It's lack of wisdom, clearly, but I do have a bias. I want you to know about it. I'm not interested in scholarly discussion. I'm more interested into knowing enough so that when I teach you, I say, oh, you are Mahayana, I teach you Mahayana stuff. I teach you accordingly. If you're Hinayana, or whatever you want to call yourself, so that I use these things to help you stir you in the right direction, have you build a proper foundation for your own good, okay? And so sometimes I gloss over that, to me, it's too scholarly concepts. Like right now it says three natures. Okay, here, slide 1524, three natures. That's important, you need to know this. Everywhere calculating and attached to, okay? That's you normally. That's how we are normally, okay? This is the typical mindset of living beings. And then there's something else, and depending, the nature dependent on something else, meaning that with the knowledge you're acquiring from school, from learning, from reading, from listening, now you give rise to deduction, if you will. Okay? From the base knowledge we acquire, okay, now you've reduced knowledge. In AI, what they call it, inference. Okay? So the AI people, if they only knew about Buddhism, remember they started by saying, yeah, they draw data, they feed all these articles about Mahayana from Bodhi-Light International, okay? So that's the core, that's called everywhere calculating and attached to, okay? That's me, okay? And then from there, they do an inference, they make a deduction, okay? And that's something dependent on something else, depending on this prior knowledge, if you will. If the AI people knew that already in advance, they would be saving themselves so much money. Think about it. Because they had to wait until a small group of researchers in China started to say, I cannot afford to pay billions of dollars to all the sources of information, Condé Nast and so forth. And so they did inference immediately. They took OpenAI stuff and did inference on OpenAI, so they enlarged their database, something like that. I'm not into AI thing. So you see, if you look at this is a very useful kind of thing. You have base knowledge, okay? That's what you are. And then you do deduction on top. That's something called dependent on something else. Is that clear? And that's what's happening in programming. What do you mean it doesn't work? You, engineer. Yes, exactly.
Emitofuo, Master. I think for the low level, for us, maybe it helps, but I think with the good known advice, when he give the answer only for that person, custom to that person, and the AI doesn't know that. So the good known advice can give different answer from one question. Depends on the audience or the person. How could AI can distinguish that? I think it makes them more crazy.
Can you increase the volume a little? This guy sounds so sleepy, at 8:50 and in the evening. Usually you wait until 11 or so. I think.
Emitofuo Master.
If you talk to your wife like that,
better now?
you can't expect to have a good relationship. She put her to sleep.
I think for
No, I heard you already. Don't need to repeat. I mean, once is enough.
Thank you,
Seriously? You think I want to hear it twice? Okay, you're right. You're right. But I'm saying that in terms of if you really have been studying the Avatamsaka Sutra, especially Prologue here, okay, the AI researchers, they will have some clues already. You have a base and you deduce from that, and that's how you create more data. Okay, and that's what they're doing. Okay? Anyone? Okay. We have no AI people here. Okay? And finally, the third nature is the perfectly realized, perfectly accomplished nature. Now, this is different. This is totally outside of AI. This is totally wisdom. Okay? It's not something that can be replicated at all. Okay? If you have wisdom, whatever you say becomes everywhere calculated or dependent on something else. But that is your own creation. Okay? So this is why this again is useful to you researchers, because it tells you there's a limitation for AI, for self-driving. You see that? The self-driving, the full autonomous driving is crap. You're gonna die. You rely on that? I hope you don't. I have a Tesla too. But I don't drive it. Sanguk Sunim drives it. Okay? Okay, anyway, you see, I know better. I want you to know that, because Buddhism, all these is very, very, very useful information. That's why 3 natures, I love it. 5 natures, the 5 natures and so forth. And it says part of the 5 natures they talk about arhats, condition, enlightened, the condition, the bodhisattvas, undetermined, unfixed, and then will never accomplish Buddhahood, which is nonsense, by the way. All of you, regardless how much I like you or not, okay, you will become Buddhas. You don't need me to become Buddhas. So that's the 5th nature as never becoming a Buddha. That's nonsense. Okay, but Hinayana, they don't mind, and so here they explain that why they taught that as never accomplishing Buddhahood. They explain it in terms of non-decreasing nature of realm beings. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Okay. This is, again, it goes into scholarly things. Doesn't matter, because when I get to the final teaching, which is the next phase, the 3rd phase of the classification of Xianshou school, that's when they said, this everyone can become a Buddha. Okay, so that's why they negate this. So that's why, you see, we save ourselves time. Just like I tell you, if you are into autonomous driving and AI research, forget it, okay? You save yourself a lot of money. Give the money to my temple. You're much better off. Okay, or any temple. Mine is better. Okay, so he says, if everyone becomes Buddha, the realm becomes empty, it's nonsense. Don't worry about it. And so it says here, again, when a Buddha teaches, sometimes he did it on purpose. He says, it's so much that you can get, I will tell you this. He said, but such statements from the Buddha are not complete and penetrating. And that's his beginning of Mahayana. It's interesting to me because it's called expedient. Sometimes you have to make a fool of yourself. Because Buddha basically did not teach them the whole thing for their sakes. Isn't that cool? Okay, all right. I will ignore the Somnyala that side. Okay. Whatever you do when you sit over there, I ignore you. Okay. Okay. So I want you to understand this. This when you see usually italics, usually it's my commentary. Okay, you can ignore for all practical purposes. You can simply tune out and take a break. And I will remind you, back to the real teaching. You see, I have a problem with 1525 here. They keep on talking back and forth, okay? And to save you time, to save ourselves time, okay? There's no point in debating, okay? I have a problem with, like, if you're in high school, okay, I would not bother getting to the debate team. You might go there and learn how they do the tricks and do the techniques and so forth. Good, but don't spend too much time on that. Exposure is a good thing, but going to that debate is nonsense to me, okay? Because it's all BS. You only waste your time, waste your energy, because you cite this, even in Buddhism, you cite this sutra. Buddha contradicts himself constantly. Like you talked about in initial teaching, okay, or Hinayana teaching. He taught Hinayana teaching, and then later he taught Hinayana initial teaching, which a lot of it contradicted Hinayana teaching. And then you go to final teaching, which contradicted a lot of Hinayana initial teaching. You see, Buddha contradicts himself. So all you have to do when you debate is to cite different things to justify your position. It's nonsense. It's not about debate. Furthermore, it's not about winning at all. It's no glory in beating up on someone else and proving you better. The superior person does not get into fights. Right, Liam? Okay? So that's why the unwise debate, the wise dig deeper into the teachings rather than using the intellect. This is worthy to be a Facebook post, if you ask me. I haven't written anything for a long time, at least 3 months, so that's why. If you're wondering, you need a new Facebook post, use this. Way Mountain question.
Hi, Master. I had a question. Who are the elders in the elders' teachings? Thank you.
Oh, the elders refers to probably the old monks in Hinayana. Hinayana, they love old monks, like we do at DTT. Okay, so that's what elders are. Elders that the assumption is when you're older, you have more wisdom, and we know better, don't we? Okay, very good. Next. Okay. In it, the two truths, the absolute and relative, are clearly quite different. And neither annihilationism or permanence, yet when the fruit is produced, the cause is extinguished.
真俗二谛陶然不同，非断非常，果生因灭。
Okay. Again, yeah, it's okay. I will bring it down to earth for you. But these scholars, they speak like this. When you hear this, next time they throw things like this at you and say, okay, I know where you will learn this from, some book somewhere. Use English for a change. So the two truths. Just remember these concepts are important. Two truths is what Buddhism teaches you, absolute truth or relative truth. All right? Absolute truth is that the truth of emptiness. This is absolute truth because it's absolutely true. Doesn't matter who you are. The truth about you is you are empty. If you have real wisdom, you'll be empty. That's the bottom line. If you think you are special, you have no wisdom. You're not in a state of wisdom. If you have wisdom, then you don't take yourself seriously. Okay? If you think you're important, okay? Well, the only exception is when you're in love. But anyway, out of love, don't take yourself seriously, please. Okay? And that's the absolute truth. So far, so good. Okay? There's always exceptions in my world. And the relative truth is that when you love, it's relatively true. Okay, well, relative truth is that life is relative truth to ordinary people. And you see right there why you learn about two truths. Absolute truth meaning absolutely true. There's no discussion here. Relative truth is that it's good for people who have no wisdom. Absolute truth is people with wisdom. Relative truth is people with no wisdom, and it's true to them. And you see, deep down, what is it telling you? It's profound respect for the Buddhists, for confused people. There's no other ways to put it. Buddha, he look at you. So if I were to look at you, Buddha said, "Oh, I adore you." And that's relative truth. You see? So relative truth, that's why I want you to know, I'm not against marriage. Because marriage is relative truth. And then when you get married and then you have more freedom to cultivate, that's when you become empty. Never mind. Don't try to understand that. Trust me, that's all. Okay? See? The two truths in the initial teaching are clearly quite different. You see that? Marriage and eventually become empty. It's very different. Okay? No blurring boundaries. Okay? You need annihilationism. I don't know what happened tonight. I was able to pronounce it this afternoon, but not tonight. And permanence. Okay? There's continuing. Okay, they explained this a little bit. When I first read this, I put a question mark. And then I read on, I said, it's about continuation actually means consequences, not continuation. You see, don't worry. Okay, the Chinese they make it mystical. The Asians, they make it Buddhism so mystical. And I try to make it more American for you. Where the fruit is produced, the cause is extinguished. You see, it says, when two principles arises, worldly truth is extinguished. I say what? And relative existence. So, interesting concept, okay? Emptiness is absolute truth, meaning that every single thing is empty, including non-stupid. So she doesn't bother me. She cannot bother me. Okay, and you find it, very useful. When you need it, you can look at your husband as empty, or your wife as empty. That's why we are not against marriage. You hear, or relationships. Do whatever you want, fall in love, get married, get divorced. But in the end, it's all empty. Yeah. And no one can ruin your happiness. So far, so good? Who says Buddhism is useless? It's very useful. Okay, so the absolute truth is emptiness. You got that? We're safe. Okay? You're safe here, and you will be safer when you open your wisdom. Relative truth, okay, interesting, it's about existence. You see that? Emptiness is you let go. Is empty, what's the point? Okay? Okay? Yeah. And existence is that enjoy. That's the two truths. Isn't that cool? Buddhism is two-faced. Sometimes they praise you, sometimes they criticize you. Okay, but however, what they talk about is emptiness and existence. In Mahayana, it's not ultimate yet. Mahayana is called true emptiness and wonderful existence. You see, that's the difference between Mahayana and Hinayana Mahayana. That's why I call initial teaching is actually, to me, Hinayana Mahayana. They haven't got quite yet, figured it out yet. Whereas you have final teaching, which is next section here, will be Mahayana Mahayana. Okay? Again, it's for our reference. You don't say Hinayana Mahayana. Master Shell would not be very happy. The point here is that in the initial teaching, they really haven't got ultimate great wisdom yet. Their level is still low. That's why they still have, some ignorance, confusion. Okay? So again, I don't like to go into this because he kind of tramples on the worldly non-Buddhist teachers a little bit. It's okay. To me, it's existence. If you can talk to them and make them happy and help them get on the way to goodness and to salvation and improve the quality of life, to me, there's nothing wrong with it. It's existence. It's useful. Okay? And so, but in Buddhism in particular, they are against annihilationism and permanence because they are two extremes. Annihilationism means that nothing matters. Whatever you have will return to dust. So it doesn't matter. You don't need to do good. You can do as you please because after you're dead, you disappear. There's no more consequences. Permanence means that now whatever you are, okay, I know it's going to be scary for you. If you're woman, you'll always be woman. Women's side, they're not, they're not paying attention. Okay? Permanent meaning it never changes. You are a man, you're always a man. Okay? You are a camel, you always be smoking. Never mind. Bad joke. Okay? If you pothead, you always be rich. Anyway, okay, so these are two extremes that is wrong. So in Buddhism, we said, if you are too extreme, it's no good. Buddhism is all over, okay? And that's why we're a lot more flexible. You see, sometimes we're in love, sometimes we're not. Sometimes we're married, sometimes we get divorced. And wait, let me take it back. This doesn't sound good. Okay? So they talk about here, cats will be cat, horse will be horses, cows will always produce very good food, steaks. Chicken will have good gizzards. Goats, I love lamb. Okay, never mind. They will always be, they never change, okay? You see, can we talk about this? How about love? Which part is it? Should be permanent or annihilationism? What do you think? I don't know why I keep on talking about love tonight. What do you think? How about love? Which part should it belong to? You got to admit, we talk about things that others would not dare touch with a 10-foot pole because you can't win. Love, is it permanent or non-existent? Okay, Jung, take a break. But the rest of you who've been in love already, tell me, is it permanent or is it non-existent? Is it empty? I'm saying this. Yes, ChatGPT.
It's both. Depends on where and who you are talking to.
There's wisdom in there somewhere. Let me process it a little bit. Okay, so where is it? Is it empty or is it permanent? Huh? And this is where this Buddhist knowledge is very useful. If you say it's empty, then you be like Jung. Look at him. There's no love. You don't want to be like that. Never. But if you says it's permanent, then you're a fool. Look at old people. They know better, right? There's not such a thing as love. You ask them. You're too young, you don't know what I'm talking about. You, what do you say? You, is that love?
Yeah, when you with your family is permanent, when you with yourself or at the temple.
No, I'm talking about love for your woman.
It's permanent. It definitely permanent.
This guy is such a liar. But that's wisdom in there. Yes, Wei Mountain. I don't know how the Koreans would put up with me. I always joking in the U.S. I go to Korea, I behave myself. In the U.S., I'm always joking around. Korea, I never joke. Yes, Wei Mountain.
Say it's permanent because you end up seeing somebody again in the next life and suffer again, fall in love and suffer again.
So are you against marriage or for marriage?
Say I'm for it, but I think it's a lot of suffering.
Ooh, get married, ooh, hurt me. Yeah, as soon as he got married, he looked at his wife and said, please hurt me. You love me, hurt me. Yeah. Okay, anyway, let's move on. Koreans, what do you feel? Is that is it empty, love empty, or love for permanent? See how quiet they are. I want a divorced Korean to see what he has to say. Never mind. Okay, and so I don't know where he's going. Okay, never mind. Okay, never mind. Okay, continuation. Okay, so continuation here refers to the fact that this cause and effect, basically. things that happen right now because of some prior causes, this is absolute truth, absolutely true. It's always whatever you have today is because of the plenty causes in the past. Okay? And so that's why the consequences and subsequent and so forth. All right? And then he says, Master YongHua I used to learn this as well. He said, when you study, you need to use your ears, your eyes, and your mouth. Did you know that? He taught his student, he said, when you study, you, first of all, read the text. Okay? That's a mouth. Okay? And then when you read it, you hear yourself. That's the ears. Right? And then at night, you have to review it. And that's how you study. Hey boy, are you paying attention? Okay? Go home, tell daddy that I taught you learn how to study tonight. Okay? So I was so impressed. And now he says, I encourage my students to take notes and record things. And now I find myself nowadays, the last few years, advising you not to worry so much about memorizing. Maybe. Did I say that? I don't remember anymore. Anyway. Because I feel, how do you feel? Should you memorize or should you not memorize? For him, you study something, you memorize. Okay? It's so Chinese. Right? Korean, everything. Vietnam, everything. Did you memorize? No, this one never memorized when she was younger. Sang-Wook Sunim, did you memorize when you were in Korea? She memorized that. When you came here for your PhD, you memorized or you stopped memorizing? She memorized too. This is why she's this way. Too much memorization. It's not healthy. Okay? And so he says, now, he says, they need to record and replay. And I said, then you were relying on a tape recording? Anyway, I was just playing games with Master YongHua. Yeah. Any questions? You can read this. Sometimes I get bored. All this. It's good stuff, but I disagree with it. Any questions? All right. We're almost the end of the initial. Sometimes I read this because I'm intrigued about how far he taught them. Clearly not far enough. Okay, I can't wait to get to the real teaching because that's what really interests me. 1535, the 4 marks are simultaneous, extinction indicating subsequent non-existence.
同时四相灭表后无。
Yeah, they translated whole as later. I changed it subsequent because it's more elegant. I'm vain. The 4 marks are, okay, this is this important concept you want to know. Birth, dwelling, change, emptiness. That's the 4 marks. Okay, this refers to the 4 marks in Buddhism, or it sometimes is called coming to being, dwelling, decay, and extinction. Okay, they are simultaneous. You see. Meaning that when you have birth, you also have dwelling, change, and emptiness at the same time. Okay? And so that's why the 4 marks are simultaneous. That's all it means. All right? Meaning that don't discriminate. Okay? Also, also 4 marks, you take a larger scale on a longer timeline. That's about Genesis, about how the world came into being. There's always the 4 phases on everything. Okay, kind of interesting, especially in the world. Our world came to being because it's a birth in our world. They call it Big Bang Theory, whatever. Okay, there's a birth. It came into being. It dwells, meaning it stays that way for a while, and then it starts to change, meaning aging. You get older, okay, and then finally it disappears. So these 4 changes is what happens to all beings, all things in life. Is that clear? Okay? And this is, when you see this, this is how the world is created. Our world came into being. It's created by the Buddha. And then it stays that way for a while. Now it's changing, meaning this is Dharma ending age. Okay? It's changing. Okay? And now eventually it will disappear. All worlds have to go through these 4 phases. Everything has to go through this. And that makes you relaxed. Everything in life, okay, have the 4 changes. Okay? Love, same thing. Job, same thing. Companies, same thing. Everything has to go through these 4 phases. All right? And it says, if you really have wisdom, the 4 marks actually are simultaneous. Okay? And also at a very tiny scale, your thoughts also have the 4 marks as well. The thought arises, okay, and it's there, okay. It dwelling is that you hang on to you hang on to that thought, and then it changes and begins to decay. You begin to lose interest, okay, and then it disappears. Nothing is permanent. All right? So far, so good. This is when you understand that this is when you want to become a monk. Only that is real. I thought I have to do a little bit of advertising. Since it's free anyway, it comes with advertising. 1 mark extinction, subsequent non-existence. Okay? So in Buddhism, there's the concept production, extinction. Production beginning, extinction the end. You have production, it's always extinction. Always. It can never stay the same. And this is the difference between wisdom, wise people, and foolish people. Okay? If something comes into being, okay, it will have to die, will have to disappear one day. Look at ourselves. We're born, eventually we have to die. No one is exempt from that. Even Buddhas, they're born. Shakyamuni Buddha was born, and he has to die. Even Buddhists have to do that. Okay? Meaning that in Buddhism, it says that when conditions get together, you have birth. You have coming together condition. That's why you have birth. And then eventually, when conditions dissipate, that's when you die. You disappear. So far, so good? All right? Any political jokes? No? Okay. Like Democratic Party. And so that we born and then we extinction. So production and extinction is the 2 endpoints. Everything is produced, and then will come to an end. That's extinction. Okay, they exist at the same time. You don't understand it right now, but it's okay. It doesn't matter. Okay, eventually you will. Okay, and he gives an example here of a thought. A thought is so fast in your head, in your mind right now. You produce so many thoughts. It comes and it dies. It comes and dies, comes and dies like this. And you in a kasana, okay, very small fraction of time. Okay, you have like 99 thoughts. This is 99. When you blink the eye, you are able to produce 99 thoughts at least. That's how fast it is. I love her, I hate her, I love her, I hate her, I love her, I hate her, I love her, I want to marry her, no, I don't want her. No. That's how quickly women change their minds. Scary. But that's what makes him so adorable. Don't ask for logical. You don't like it, become a monk. Yes, what? What do you say for yourself? Yeah.
Emitofuo Master, so is the ego also subject to that production and extinction?
Everything? What's your question?
If the ego is also subject, if the ego is subject to...
Oh, the ego!
Ego, yeah, better.
Here, at Be Alive, we call it ego. We don't like ego. Ego is so crude. Ego is more refined. Is subject to extinction?
Yeah, production and extinction.
Yeah, of course. Give me an example. Never mind, women. Men, give me an example of the ego subject to production and extinction. Daniel. He's thinking. 6, yeah.
So recently I started playing soccer with some of my friends and colleagues and family members, and I thought I was good, so then we started inviting more people, and then we got a bunch of guys that are super good, and now my ego is hurt because I'm not that good.
Very good. Disappointing. Yeah, ego, anything is subject to production and extinction. Anything and everything, except for one thing, which is? Seven.
Master, actually I was asking about that thing that has no extinction and production.
No.
Okay, and I was thinking, well, I would like to ask you if for example, the Dharma body, I mean like the Buddha has 3 kinds of body. The 2 first bodies has production and extinction, but the Dharma body or the self-nature, that it has no production and extinction.
Say it in Spanish for him. That's the right answer. See? That's it. Yeah. The self-nature has no production, no extinction. Meaning it's always there. It's always there. Okay? Yes, your Buddha nature is always there. Just because you cannot connect with it doesn't mean it's not there. Okay? Very much like the air. We can't see it, but we're breathing it. Same thing. The Buddha nature, we can't see it, but we're using it. It's present with us. Always. Whether you believe or not, doesn't matter. Is that clear? Does it help? Yeah. All right. 1541. The fundamental is subsequently obtained according accord with state to sever delusions. Speaking in terms of meaning, there is twin contemplation, but there is definite difference in illumination.
根本厚德，圆净断惑，一说双关，决定别照。
For the record, there's more Koreans listening to this than people here in America. Anyway, the fundamental wisdom, and is that true suchness, okay, which is the name of Buddha nature. Buddha nature has many names, okay, and these names you want to hear, and you hear it again. You say, there's such a thing in Buddhism where it's true suchness. You are that way. Your Buddha is that way. It's so Buddhist. Can you think of anything worldly that's similar to true suchness? I just give you an example today already, which is so close to true suchness. If you really want to understand true suchness, just look at this thing that we talked about tonight already, an hour, within this past hour. We spared you so far. That's something I brought up tonight that's so close to true suchness. Your real nature.
Yes, and?
True is true, such is that way.
Yes, and?
Yes, and? This is some sort of profound.
I don't see the question, Master. What was the question to me?
Okay, it's okay. Take a break.
Thank you.
You too. Yeah. He wasn't even paying attention. The breaks are supposed to last 20 seconds, not 20 minutes. You too.
From Diego Alfonso, Emitofuo, Master. What Patricia just said is that the Dharma body of the Buddha and the self nature are the same.
That's very good.
Same, and is it the same or is it different? Thank you, Master.
Okay, very good. Okay. I want something closer to reality. Buddha nature, Buddha, God, please, give me a break. Yeah. What is true? Because it's that way. It's true, suchness is what it means. Suchness is that it's just that way, okay? And true is so true. What is it? Okay. I don't expect Koreans to get this, but I expect you Americans to get it. Yes, 4. Emptiness? Close, very close. Anyone else? Taiwan. What is so close to true suchness? Not quite true suchness, but very close. It's true and it's that way. That's what it means. The word true, such just means it's true, it's totally true, that way. Truly that way. Yes, 7.
Maybe almost, but it's not true suchness, it's the law of cause and effect.
The law of cause and effect? There's no love for cause and effect.
Causes and consequences?
Okay, close enough. Very good, that's original. Anyone else? It's truly that way. That's what true suchness means. You got it now? You know, I know you read Ru Lai. True suchness is what? Chân Ru, thank you. Chân Ru is true suchness. Chân Như. Okay? Chân Như. So, what is the closest thing to it. It's not quite chân như, but it's very close to it because it's true that way. Truly that way. This is a riddle. I want, now, Koreans, you can answer me. Ipche, what is almost true? Okay, never mind. Anyone else? Yes, 4.
Emptiness?
Oh, almost, very good. Almost truly like that. Truly like that. True suchness. It's so obvious. Don't you get it? The whole evening, that's what we've been talking about. That's DTT. Another riddle. Yes, Master Old Monk.
Cái đó là cái khoảng chân không xung quanh chúng ta đây nè.
I know he's not giving me the answer. He's too serious. Yes, 1. Okay, take a break. 1.
Love.
Close, very close. This is so Spanish. Anyway, true suchness is truly that way. DTT. Hi, honey. How's
cái chân không này Đức Phật có thí dụ trong kinh Lăng Nghiêm rồi.
I told you take a break.
Thường còn vĩnh viễn.
Just listen.
Không sanh không diệt.
Very good.
Thường còn.
I want something in this world that is truly that way. If you don't understand truly this way, are you going to be so unhappy? I give you a third clue already. 1, I think he got it.
Maybe marriage?
What?
Marriage?
Marry? Close, but no cigar. Now he's obsessed about marriage. I don't know why he's so obsessed with marriage. Huh? You give up? Korean, you give up? Wei Mao. Master Ji. You must have an answer. True suchness, truly that way.
I have no clue, Master.
You have no clue. Why are you guys so straight-laced? I can't stand this. Anyone else? Yes?
Master, you say that women, they constantly change their mind. That's why you find them adorable.
That's it! Truly that way. They are as close to true suchness as it can be. Only the delicate people like Hong would understand. All of you, the rest of you, so coarse. Agree? Does it make sense now? You agree with me? They're truly that way. Don't try to understand. For all my life, I wondered, why is she that way? Now I'm close to death and say, oh, that's why. Jung is so impressed. He says, yeah, all the 70 years of learning, I finally understood. They are truly that way. Don't try to fight it. Koreans are not laughing anymore. Okay. Okay. So, why is it we don't have wisdom? Because we have delusions. And this section here talks about your types of delusions. Okay? And he says here, absolute truth, corrupt delusions based on principle, that is thought delusion. Subsequently attained wisdom accords with states of relative truth. Worldly state, the cut-off delusion about specifics. Okay, view delusions. Okay, very important concept. There are two types of delusions: thought delusion and view delusions. Okay, thought delusions is because you don't understand the principle. View delusions is because you are confused about specifics. Okay, so that's why he now discusses the nature of our delusions. Okay, so people's delusions, why you explain to them, they don't get it. Okay, and because they're YouTube. Samuksunim, are you there?
안녕하세요, 영화 선생님. 선생님의 법문과 예불을 통해 마음의 안정을 찾고 있는 요즘입니다. 감사드립니다. 질문도 함께 드립니다. 평소 제 마음 안에 수치심이 적지 않게 있어서 다른 사람들은 개의치 않을 만한 가벼운 행동에도 스스로는 창피함을 느끼곤 합니다. 예를 들어서 혼자 사용하는 사무실임에도 업무 중 화장을 고치게 될 때 업무 공간에서 화장을 고치는 게 창피해 화장실에 들어가 고치고 나옵니다. 큰 문제는 아니지만 제 내면에서 자주 작동하는 근본적인 수치심을 치유하고 싶습니다. 방법이 있을까요?
Hello, Master. Thanks to your Dharma talk and your ceremonies, I feel peaceful these days. I have a question. This is a question from Yesong Kim. Normally, I have a lot of shame inside my mind, so I feel very easily shameful with my casual actions, even though it's too small so that other people wouldn't mind. For example, when I'm in the office, even though it's the office that I only use for myself, when I try to fix my makeup during my work, I feel ashamed that I'm fixing my makeup inside the office. So I would go to the restroom and fix it. It's not a big deal, but inside my mind it happens a lot. It's like a deeply rooted shame. So I would like to fix this. Is there a way to fix this?
So she's ashamed that she's fixing the makeup?
Yeah, you usually don't do that, but
really?
She fixes her makeup in her office, but she uses it by herself, only one.
She's what?
She's the only one using the office.
And she has to go to the restroom?
Yes.
There's no one in the office. Why
Right.
she has to go to the restroom?
I don't know.
I don't get it. This is a woman thing. So, women help out. Yeah? Why do you have to feel, yes, number 6. Why do you have to feel ashamed? I don't get it. It's nice to fix it.
Wait, maybe it's just not like protocol, so she just knows that it's not the place to do it.
It's so interesting because in Korea they feel ashamed. Here I have another disciple who's shameless. She says, I like myself. I look at myself, I like it. Who is this? we tell you if we can't mention names later. Yeah. Okay, so I don't understand. It's a cultural differences here. It's perfectly normal to kind of look at yourself and like yourself. Okay, but in Korea, is that true? There's a cultural thing. You know, this is something that we need a couch. We need to have her lie on the couch and talk to us.
In Korea, people sometimes fix their makeup in the subway.
In the US too.
Yeah, so people fix makeup in the public spaces.
And she feels ashamed when she does that? So is that normal? You know, the rest of you Koreans, you have to help out. YongHua's wife, is it normal? To feel ashamed to fix your makeup? Yeah? No, see, no. Someone help you out. Someone who feels ashamed to fix the makeup. Speak up. Oh, Chung, yeah, go ahead. When you fix your makeup, do you feel ashamed?
No, I don't feel ashamed when I put foundation on my face. It's normal for a man to look his best, you know. But I think, Master, maybe she wasn't talking about makeup specifically. I think maybe she said she feels ashamed, and this illustrates one example of her constant feeling of shame.
Can you ask her why does she feel ashamed that she like to need to fix up your makeup? Did men complain, or the mother told her that, you know, girls should not put and fix the makeup, or the husband says you look pretty enough already, you don't need to fix the makeup? Why? Anyway, well, she gets back to us, okay? Yeah, that's interesting. This is fascinating. I find a girl who fixes her makeup and feels ashamed. Huh? Only in the office. He was paying attention. You see that? Company policy? No, tell me. Most Korean companies don't have that policy. I know we need to consult the Koreans. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, JC.
네, 제가 해석하기로는 화장을 고치는 것 자체를 부끄러워하는 것이 아니고요. 그 장소를 한국에서는 화장을 고치는 것은 매우 사적인 일이므로 공공장소에서는 하지 않는 게 좋다. 공공장소에서 화장을 고치는 것은 좀 부끄러운 일이다 하는 통념이 있습니다. 그런데 예송시에는 사무실은 공공장소지요. 그렇지만 예송시는 그 사무실을 자기 혼자 쓰고 있으니까 그냥 사적인 장소로 생각을 해도 충분할 텐데 그거를 공공장소로 생각해서 의식해서 내가 공공장소에서 화장을 고치는 거는 옳지 않은 일이야. 그러니까 화장실에 가서 사적인 곳에서 화장을 고치고 와야지 하는 사소한 갈등을 겪는 게 아닌가 싶습니다.
7, yeah, translation.
So I think Yesong is not asking about she feels ashamed of fixing a makeup. She's more referring to which place she fixes the makeup. So in Korea, in the public spaces, maybe it's a little bit shameful that you're fixing your makeup. You usually do in the private space. So when you fix your makeup in the office, like it's a public space, then people feel not very comfortable to do it. But in Yesong's case, it's a private space. Even though it's an office, she uses it by herself. But maybe it's a problem that Yesong feels it's a public space because it's an office. So I think she's having a little conflict in there.
Thank you for the input. Yeah, what does she have to say? She didn't say anything? She did?
I'm very interested. What did she say?
Yeah, what
She
is it? Yeah,
says,
me too.
She says the office was just an example, one example, and she just says, when I look at the mirror, I also feel ashamed sometimes. I don't know why.
I'm baffled.
I look funny. My face looks funny.
Oh, that explains it. Plastic surgery. Very simple. Korean, just change your shape of the jaw to perfect. V shape. Okay, I think this would need more time. It's not fair. We treated this casually. Good luck to you. You should not feel ashamed. Okay? Listen, there's a principle behind it. Okay? You should feel ashamed if it's against morality. If you are doing something that's evil, you should feel ashamed of yourself. So far, so good. But it's like vanity, or you feel like you are doing something private, personal. You like or you don't dislike yourself. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It's nonsense. Okay? In Buddhism, I'm only speaking from a Buddhist perspective. You should be ashamed because what we talked about, shame and remorse and shame, is about has to do with your doing something that's not good, that's immoral, that's not right. Then you should feel remorseful and you should feel ashamed. But in terms of how you take care of yourself, plastic surgery, all those things, there's nothing to be ashamed of. There's no need. Okay? So logically, it doesn't make sense. If she keeps on feeling ashamed like this, is there some more karmic reasons behind it? Then there's no reason to feel this obsessively ashamed of myself. To me, it sounds obsessive, and unless we have a chance to talk to her directly and then ask and clarify this, it doesn't make sense to me. The principle, again, is that you're really not doing anything immoral. Why should you feel ashamed of yourself? You enjoy yourself. You enjoy, enjoy yourself. It's life. It's normal. Yes, sir. If you want to, refresh your makeup, men usually don't complain. Yes, 6.
Master, I feel at the heart of this, not speaking from a Buddhist perspective, but purely psychological, there's a feeling of not good enough, particularly when you compare yourself with the surroundings, and especially, and I don't mean to be insulting of the culture over there, when surgery is so prevalent, I think there's some type of pressure over there.
No. It has nothing to do with pressure and the cultural thing. It's personal. Yeah, you judge yourself excessively. You hold yourself to this ideal that's unattainable. Because it happened. For example, it's not just her. for a lot of people, especially when they're children, when you're younger, you somehow held to high standards of certain looks, certain behavior, certain comportment that you can't measure up, and that you feel guilty, you feel ashamed of it. Okay, that's very commonplace when you're younger. Okay, and I feel that's unhealthy. No need for that. You should teach young people and old people learn to accept themselves. It's not beauty, it's not necessarily makeup, whatever. Makeup or without makeup. It's about how good you feel inside of yourself. If you are always bitchy, excuse me. It doesn't matter how much makeup you put on. You still are unattractive. Okay? Yeah. And so, for this person here, we'd be glad to have sent XP to Samuel. We'll talk to her some more in the future, in a few weeks, when she goes there. But it's no need to be obsessively critical of yourself and be ashamed of yourself. You have to like yourself, like what you have, and accept who you are. It's not about who you are today, it's about who you can be better tomorrow. That's what matters. What makes a person interesting is she can be better tomorrow. The one we love today will be better tomorrow, or next week, or next month. That's the secret. You chase after people like that, then it's okay to fall in love. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, she seems to be stuck on something, a fixed standard. Okay, I'm trying to teach you that if you should think in terms of changing for the better, make yourself more attractive naturally, okay? And that's what cultivation is about. In our world, cultivation makes you better and better and better. That's what makes for lasting relationship. Ordinary people, they fall out of love and they have problems in a relationship because they think of it as static. Okay? And I find that many of you are happier because as you improve, actually you feel better about yourself. And the people around you can see the positive change in you and they like it. And that's what really matters, is growth. If you don't grow, you decay and you die. Okay? And this is why women, you women go into plastic surgery and go change hairdressers and buy a lot more makeup. But we men, we change our heart. We make ourselves so much more lovable. Right, Lloyd? You do that. Then his love is in the air. I'm serious. I want to share with you tonight. We don't have time to go to Luke, and we go back to 1543 tonight. I want you to impress upon you that you can tell they're a person who's worldly because their view is static. I want you to see that what we do is we grow our heart. It's very clear part. It's not grow in terms of words, but we grow in terms of the goodness in our heart. That's what we become more attractive. You know that? I look at people, I find them attractive, find them likable because they grow. I see that. Okay? They are gooder and gooder and gooder. That's my definition of beauty, of attraction. And people in the world, they look at attraction as something static. My eyes have to be this. When you get older, I've seen a lot of old women, their eyes become a slit. I tell you, when I was younger, I was tutoring the kids, French high school kids, rich ones in Vietnam. And I met this woman who paid me like a lot of money per hour to tutor her son in math. He went to a French high school. And then what really struck me every time I met with her, because she made sure that she talked to me every week before she paid me. And every time I look at her, her eyes like this. I said, can you see when you walk? And now my eyes are like that. That's retribution, let me tell you. My point here is that worldly people, they try to maintain the status quo because that's all they can think of. So when the body changes, they pump stuff into it to keep it, the same. You know what I mean? Whereas we understand that change is what makes nature beautiful. And that's why we embrace changes, but we inject growth. This is what kindles the fires, guys. It's not the static thing that worldly people see, so that they have to nip and tuck and then do this and do that. We nip and tuck our hearts. Got that? That's what makes us attractive and youthful. When you're young, you don't care. When you're older, that's when you care. Yeah? Okay, well, think about it. We stop here tonight. Thank you, everyone.